Okay. Welcome, everybody. We are here today for this amazing interview. So, I want everyone to first go ahead and check in. Let us know where you are checking in from. State your name, state your city, state your state. Let us know where you are. We are excited today for this interview. We've been waiting for this for a long time. If you are a guest on the line, go ahead and tag the person that invited you just to let them know you are present to hear this amazing information. We have Mr. Nate Newman. How are you, Mr. Newman, today?
Oh man, I'm blessed by the best. I'm glad to be here.
Awesome. Well, I'm excited. I'm very grateful and thankful that you're here with me today. I know we've been trying to get this together for a minute, so we've finally gotten it together. So I know everybody else is excited. They've seen a little bit about you. They know a little bit about your story. So we just want to know, who is Mr. Nate Newman?
Nate Newman. Man, pretty much born and raised right here in the DMV area, DC, Maryland, Virginia area. I'm a married man, been married for the last 21 years. I have 4 beautiful kids who are good most days of the week, right? And I've been in education for the last 22 years. So I'm an educator by vocation. I'm actually a principal of an alternative school here in our school district. And I'm just your average Joe, Director Bennett. You know, my parents told me, go to school, get good grades, don't let that school call my house, right? And I did that. And upon graduation, I had some choices. I could go to college. I could go get that good government job with benefits. I could go to the military. And if I didn't do any of the above, I had to get out the house, right? And so for me, I went to college and got the government job, right? Quickly realized that the cubicle life was not for me. Took a little break from college, went back, came out, went into education, Director Bennett. Quickly realized that was not the best wealth strategy for me. So I tried some things. I tried real estate. I tried a couple home-based businesses. Never got that success I was really looking for, but always had that drive to do something big for myself and for my family. And so about 3.5 years ago, I got a text message from a good friend who shared this opportunity that we're talking about right now. You know, he said, hey, Nate, I know you're a principal. I know you're busy, but I need you to take a look. And on the strength of that friendship, Director Bennett, I took a look and my life has never been the same since. Fast forward 3.5 years, I now make more money part-time than I do as a full-time principal, Director Bennett. And that's huge for me and my family. So that's my story in a nutshell.
Wow. So guys, you hear that? It was a good friend of his. Some of you have had a good friend that have invited you to this group. This person has probably been chasing you down to get you to take a look at this information. And his friend cared enough about him to share with him, although he was already making 6 figures. So, Mr. Newman, tell me about that, because as a 6-figure earner on your job, you know, most people think that 6-figure earners just have it made, right? We all aspire to make 6 figures at our job, right? Minimum $100,000 a year. Tell me, what was your mindset or what was your thought process when you decided to even launch your business, knowing you were already making 6 figures? What made you just take that jump when you were already a 6-figure income earner?
So let me write something on the canvas of your mind today, right? Most people, well, let me ask you, what number comes to mind when you think 6 figures? Quick, what number, Director Bennett?
$1,000 a year.
$100,000. But I want to educate you guys tonight. 6 figures goes from 100,000 all the way up to 999,000, right? The person who's at 999,000 lives a totally different life than a 100,000 earner, right? And so for me, even though on paper it said I made 6 figures, that did not equate to 6 figures liquid coming into my home. So for me, I knew I needed multiple streams of income. My wife was a CPA by trade, decided to come home to pour into her children, to spend more time with them before they were off to college and on their lives. And so that was a sacrifice for us, right? We were living by faith for quite a few years, and money was extremely tight. So for me, it was a no-brainer. I knew I needed a tax shelter. I knew that my wife wanted and deserved to travel. And see, before this, Director Bennett, vacations for us is what I now call staycations or fakecations, right? We would drive to Ocean City for a couple of days, and we would use the points on our American Express card because we were paying our bills with the American Express card. So we had points to use, right? Or it was driving down to grandma and them house in North Carolina, and we called that vacation. Well, my wife and family had never been on a real vacation before. So we wanted to travel. I needed a tax shelter, and I needed an additional stream of income. And this business was right on time for me because twin boys just graduated high school this year. I knew they was 3.5 years ago. I knew I had to get ready for college. And I didn't want them to have to lessen their expectations. I wanted them to dream big. What school do you want to go to? We're going to go for scholarships, but if we don't get a whole scholarship, I needed to know that I was going to be in position to give them the Newman scholarship, Director Bennett. And so it wasn't hard for me. And I want you guys to understand, don't shy away from sharing with the principals, the doctors, the lawyers in your life. They need multiple streams of income as well. They need a retirement plan just like you do. Many people who claim to make 6 figures or higher, guess what? Most of us, if we tell the truth, are broke at a high level.
Wow.
We look good. We smell good. We got the nice house. We got the nice car. But if you look at our bank accounts at the end of the month, they look the same.
Wow.
They look the same. So it wasn't hard for me. I'm glad that my friend bothered me, because as a result of him bothering me, not only am I making 6 figures, but I shared it with one of my close friends who's making 6 figures. I shared it with another one of my best friends who's making over $2,000 per month part-time as an educator, right, on his way to 6 figures. The person who shared it with me, making well over $7,000 per month. So now imagine making money with the people who you call close to you, your closest friends, your family members. I get to travel the world with my best friends because I know we all have the money coming in because we all do the business together.
Wow, wow, and wow. And it's amazing that it's all friends doing this. And like I said, guests that are watching this, your friend, someone close to you, or some maybe it's a stranger that invited you to this group, but they thought enough of you to share this with you so that you can experience what Mr. Newman and his closest friends and family are experiencing. So Mr. Newman, as you were growing your business, you were learning because, education is your primary profession. What was that experience like for you, just doing something out of the norm, but realizing that, wait a minute, this is starting to look like it's going to allow me to be able to kind of do this full time? Like, what was that experience like, just getting started and growing into where you are now?
Well, Director Bennett, if I'm honest, right, because I had done some things before, right? I had done some real estate investments that went bad. I'd done some commodities deal, lost a lot of money, had made sacrifices in the past and didn't secure the bag, as the young people say, right? So initially I was hesitant. Man, can I go back and share with the people I shared with before that I found something incredible, because I thought I had found something incredible before? Can I share with my family, my friends, my network, what this is doing for me? I was gun shy initially, Director Bennett. I didn't know if people would be accepting of me because I was doing yet another business. And see, what I had to realize is the product was different. I didn't have to convince people to change their spending habits. With travel, it was an easy conversation because they were already doing it or they wanted to do it. I didn't have to twist their arm to go to Dubai. They wanted to. I didn't have to twist their arm to go to Cancun. They wanted to. They wanted to go on the cruise. They wanted to buy the sporting and events and entertainment tickets. They wanted to do those things, right? I had to get myself out of the way and not prejudge people and let them make their own decisions. And I'm so glad that I did that, because had I not gone back to my best friends, where would they be right now, right? If one of my best friends didn't share it with me, where would he or I be right now? And so we never know whose blessings are attached to us making the right decision, right? Somebody else's rescue is attached to your decision to bet on yourself. And so once I got over that hump, Director Bennett, I jumped all in. And I found out that my worst fears were false. They didn't exist. Now, that didn't mean that people didn't tell me no. There were some people who told me no. My best friend told me no when I first took it to him. But now he thanks me literally every day that I followed up with him. Wow. He got rid of the second job, right? I remember, if I can tell this very quickly, both his air conditioning units broke in his house. That was about $3,000. Inside of the same week, Director Bennett, his car broke down and he had to spend over $1,100 to get it fixed. And he was scheduled to go out of town the same week.
Wow.
But because of this business, what would have been a life decision, what would have been a catastrophic event in his life when it came to his finances, he was able to still go on his trip, get his air conditions fixed, get his car fixed without batting his eyes twice, because he had the additional income from this business called travel.
Wow.
And so, guys, the money starts here. And, you know, we hear that cliche that if you can conceive it and believe it, you can achieve it. Mm-hmm. It's true. Because once you get yourself out the way, because fear is false expectations appearing real. Once I got that fear out of the way, I haven't made less than $1,000 per month in this business since I got started.
Wow. So, Mr. Newman, when you started, I hear you keep saying I. So when you started, it was just you, right?
That's
you
right.
Saw the vision and you went running. Tell me what happened from day one with your wife to now. Because we have some people who are married that are guests in this group. We have some people who are married that are already business partners and their partner is not on board with them. So what happened with that?
Well, let's be clear. If you've done some things and you didn't make money before, you might have to create the evidence for that spouse to take you seriously. Let's just be honest, right? And in addition to that, I would say, as a man, and I say this respectfully, I'm called to be a provider, right? But nowhere have I ever read where someone else had to dictate how I provide. So even though I brought the project home to my wife because I wanted her approval, I did not need her permission to get started. I pretty much told my wife we were in the travel business and I asked for her support because I didn't have to ask to go get a job. I didn't have to ask to go get the second job when I needed the second job. So I didn't need to ask to start a business, but I did want her to come into agreement with me, because if two are in agreement, they can walk, right? So my wife was enjoying the checks that were coming in. She was enjoying the travel that we were taking, but she really was not into network marketing, right? She really wasn't even into being a travel agent. But here's what I did. The first thing I did was I took her to a lifestyle event. What does that mean? Every year, we go on these trips that are amazing, 4-star, 5-star experiences, to be able to open our minds to see how life could be if we obtain the income. So I took her on a yacht cruise in Fort Lauderdale, went down Millionaires Row to show her the type of houses that millionaires live in, to show her the experience. We went to South Beach. We did it up big. But at that event, the founder of the company did an awesome training that opened her mind. See, sometimes you're trying to open the mind of your spouse, but they need to see it on a bigger picture. They need to see it on a larger scale. They need to see that there's a bigger vision. Because see, instead of you sharing information so that they can buy into the message, they was buying into the messenger, and you may not have been doing a great job of selling the message. So now when I take her to a lifestyle event, and even when I took her to Las Vegas for our convention, and I had her walk the stage with me. I was being recognized as a top income earner, and I asked them to share, if she could share the stage with me, and if they could announce both our names together. That was the second thing that had a profound impact on her. And while she was there, she went to some of the travel training by IntelliTravel. And the whole flight home, Director Bennett, she was reading the travel manual. She was in the back office, Director Bennett. And at the end of the trip, she turned and said to me, I don't see why anyone wouldn't do this business.
Wow.
It just makes sense. I've looked for holes and can't find any. You don't have to sell it. You don't have to convince people to do this. It's affordable. And the price point is perfect for people to get started. And the commissions that you can make, in contrast to the time that you put in, it just seems unfair. So once my wife came on board, and it wasn't that she did a whole lot, but it's something about knowing you in the trenches with me, right? That not only am I getting your verbal support, but I'm getting your time, I'm getting your attention, I'm getting your hands being placed on the plow. Guys, we went from earning $1,000 or $2,000 a month to 6 figures inside of 8 months after she came on board. We went from being 1-star directors to 2-star directors to 3-star directors to getting this ring that you see in my hand that indicates income earnings of over $8,300 per month. All because my wife caught the vision.
Wow. Wow. Amazing what can happen when two spouses work together in this business. So my last question, Mr. Newman, is what advice do you have for that person that's just on the fence and just really like killing themselves trying to figure out should they or should they not launch their business? What advice do you have for them?
Jump in. You can't swim unless you jump in, right? Outside of the water, a fish looks retarded, but inside of the water, it's a genius, right? You don't worry about the journey. Worry about the first step, right? And then put one foot in front of the other, in front of the other, in front of the other until you reach your destination. I didn't know anything about travel. I had no desire to be a travel agent. I did have a desire to change my financial trajectory and my financial future. I did have the desire to help as many people as I possibly can with this vehicle. If you're on the edge, here's why I say it's nothing for you to lose. Because of the guarantees that we have. We have a guarantee that says if you work this business for 12 months, follow our blueprint, follow our training. If you don't make more or save more than what you've invested, which is only $199 plus the $59 per month. If you don't make more or save more than that investment calculated over a year's time, they'll pay you the difference back. Who does that? We do. And what does that mean? That means your worst case scenario, you're going to have an opportunity to go on some amazing trips for pennies on the dollar. You're going to get the opportunity to generate commissions of any travel you book for yourself and other people, right? You're going to have the opportunity to share this with other people and write it all off on your taxes. And if you don't make the money we say, you get the difference back. That means your worst case scenario is you break even. Take the jump. You're not going to find another industry that gives you that guarantee. You're not going to find another industry that's expanding all the time. You go on your Facebook page right now, somebody's traveling. You go into an airport, it's packed. You go into a hotel, it's packed. You don't have to worry about finding people who want to travel.
It just makes.
So that's what I would say. Jump in, take the leap, bet on yourself, get off the hamster wheel, because I don't care how hard I worked as a principal. Test scores could go up, promotion rates could go up. I could do all things wonderful. My paycheck was going to be the same. I know what my paycheck going to be for the next 5 years in education. But here, betting on myself, my income potential is unlimited. Take the jump.
Wow. Well, guys, you heard it here. He let you know all the goodness about being a part of this business opportunity, facing the fear, doing it anyway, getting the buy-in of his spouse. There's nothing else to share, guys. So if you're a guest on the line, go ahead and comment, tag the person that invited you. Let them know that you're ready to get started. We're ready to help you. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step, guys. So take that one step right now, and we will see you on the other side of money. See you on the next slide.